Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Broadview Oval. Today is a significant occasion as both the Broadview and Salisbury North football clubs join forces together for the Ruby Tuesday Foundation. On the oval to my left is the President of the Broadview President, Ashley Routh, and he is joined by Simon Warner, President of the Salisbury North Football Club and CEO and founder of the Ruby Tuesday Foundation. As a sign of unity for the Ruby Tuesday Foundation, both presidents will gently present the match ball to today's umpires.
Just to welcome Salisbury North and Simon and the team to Broadview Oval today. We're really pleased to be able to support the Tuesday Foundation as two clubs come together. Thanks to the Salisbury North supporters that have turned up, we really appreciate it. And to our Tired Tigers Day, to all those that have turned up today, there's a lot of tired ones and some so tired, but we hope you have a good day, and I'll pass over to Rod now with the presentations.
Thank you, Ashley. The first award we're going to present is the Clyde Knott Award. The Clyde Knott Award is awarded to the most dedicated club member as voted on by the Board of Directors. For the past 15 years, these two gentlemen have manned a Canberra at each home game, and the funds raised by the Canberra sales go towards the running of the club. The winners of the 2024 Clyde Knott Award are Lindsay Kay and Robbie Charlesworth. The next award we'd like to present are life memberships. Each of the three players to receive their life membership today played 200 games for the club, which in doing so qualified them for life membership. The first player is Ben Jules. Ben played 221 games from 2006 to 2024, a 5-time C-grade captain and C-grade premiership player in 2012. Our second award winner is Ryan Jules. Ryan played 201 games from 2006 to 2024. A 4-time C-grade captain, a 7-time C-grade best and fairest, the 2010 Adelaide Football League C1 medalist, and the 2012 C-grade premiership player. The next player is Chris Verstedt. Chris played 200 games from 2001 to 2024, a 2-time C-grade captain and the 2015 Adelaide Footy League Division 2 Reserves medalist. The next one we will present is, with the move to the new building, several club history records were discovered that were previously unknown about. which revealed some timeline errors in our club history. One of them was the years of service in which members served on the General Management Committee, as it was known at the time. Mark Lee joined the General Management Committee in 1966 as a committee member, and when President Jack Treadway resigned from the position midway through the season, Mark was into the role of president and held the position until 1975. During this time, under his leadership, and with the help of his good friend, club secretary, the late Donald McDonald, the club took on a more serious approach to football and climbed the ranks from A to A1. By serving 10 years on the General Management Committee, Mark qualified for life membership. But due to a recording error at the time, the records only showed Mark had served 9 years, when in fact he had served the full consecutive years as required for life membership. At last year's AGM, this error was corrected, and Mark was awarded a posthumous life membership. We would like to present a posthumous life membership certificate to his daughter Sue. As for the life membership records, the best and fairest records were also looked at, which revealed several ties which resulted in countbacks for medals. The board removed the countback system for best and fairest counting in 2001. Today we award 2 respected best and fairest medals. The first recipient is Phil Roach. Phil tied for the A-grade best and fairest in 1972 with Chris Hoskins. Phil played 30 games for the club between 1972 and 1973. The second recipient comes from a family that has been synonymous with the Broadview Football Club since 1961, which has seen them play a combined 924 games for the club over 3 generations. The second winner is Mark Simpson. Mark tied for the A-grade best and fairest in 1984 with Steve O'Dorsey. Mark played 243 games for the club between 1978 and 1998, was an A-grade premiership captain in 1987, and one of only 5 players to win 3 A-grade premierships. Mark has coached at the A-grade, B-grade and under-18 level, a C-grade captain, C-grade best and fairest, a state representative from 1982 to 89, an All-Australian in 1983, and a 5-time South Australian Amateur Football League Team of the Year from 1982 to 1988. Today, we honour and remember a true legend of this club. At this point, I'd like to invite the family of Robert Biggs to join us on the oval. Robert Biggs, or as he's known to most of us, as Bobby. Bobby played 114 games for the club from 1961 to 1969 and was a 1964 A-grade premiership player. Following his retirement as a player in 1970, Bobby began an incredible 46 years as a volunteer for the club, beginning as a junior trainer and later as a senior trainer, as well as a member of the junior committee for many years. Bobby was made a life member of the club in the early 70s, as well as being made a life member of all the junior associations that the club played in. Bobby could be seen regularly here on Saturday mornings and during the week, cleaning the change rooms and sweeping up the leads outside the change rooms, making the club respectable for game days. Bobby was awarded an OAM Medal of the Order of Australia for his services to football. Bobby passed away on Boxing Day 2024 at the age of 82. At this time, I ask that you be upstanding and remove your hats as we are joined by his family on the field in a minute's silence in remembrance of Bobby. Followed by his son Stephen, will toss the coin for the game.
La 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 la. La.
Serenade.
Do re mi.
For a killer match of Aussie rules at your Adelaide Footy League BTR Excavations Division 1 clash between Salisbury North and Broadview. And today's matchday stream is brought to you by Filming Footy, Sports Interactive, Classic Clashes, custom by ORTC, High Five E-Bikes, Dartfish, Archie's, Jag Meatworks, Kimberley Resorts and Programs to Fit. I'm here today with Phil Herden and Sammy on camera, and we are in for a interesting match with... We were told it was going to be a late start, but it looks like they're gearing up to get ready to go on this lovely 19-degree day with slight winds headed towards the right, which is the way that Broadview will be starting off this match. Now I'm here with Phil Herden. Phil, tell me, what are your thoughts, feelings, emotions as we gear up to get ready?
Well, the last time we were here, Broadview, 2 weeks ago, Broadview kicked 3 goals, 21, but were very competitive outside of their shooting for goal. They're zipping 5. They're still only a game and percentage out of safety, so a win here would give them a great feel. At Salisbury North, I saw them last week. They had a 39-point lead early in the third quarter when rain arrived and rocks ran them down. Both teams couldn't wait for this moment to play some footy, because last week would have just been plain frustrating. And footy we will play 8 minutes early. Glad we got here. So it is Broadview in the black and gold heading to the left of your screen. Salisbury North that are usually in the green and gold. It's a pretty close clash. So it's going to be the alternate strips. And from the secondary bounce, it will be Salisbury North that will go forward, and we have to get used. I have to get used to players like Cooper Wilson looking very different in the white. He gets the handball back, crisscrosses the centre square. So I'm not sure who got the centre clearance out of that. Probably Broadview, but it is Salisbury North who go forward now. And interesting, Halibut, who's wearing number 3 today, slipped over on what looks to be pretty dry conditions. Broadview going back to go forward. It's with Anyang. He's spotted up what we think is Marco Rossman, because Broadview, surprise, surprise, have changed some numbers. But I know that man, that's our mullet man from 2 weeks ago, Taylor.
Jackson Hames, number 17 on Broadview side. He has the ball here right at the... Oh no, change over to Hawks. We've got Pierce there who kicked it off and went right inside 50, chasing the ball into the and a little handball knock. Oh, they're playing really dangerous here, like just having a little fun out front.
Was it just for one moment that you thought, are Broadview actually going that way?
Yeah, I honestly, I was like, did I get it right or wrong? I can't remember. But we're at the 50 here. It's fumbled out the hands of Beard there and just hanging around 10 metres away from the defensive 50. The dangerous quarters here. Broadview really need to knock it away. Rossman attempting his best to do so.
There's a lot of tapping.
There's a lot of tapping, a lot of fumbling.
We might have a possession for you sometime this quarter. Stick around on Filming Footy. Out of bounds, the throw-in. And this is my little blind spot, Taylor, so whilst you need to take a breath, I need you to keep calling.
We're up at the boundary. PJ Carlin is ready to tap. He's a fantastic man to place himself under the ball. And whistle blown.
Now, is that a number 44 I see out there?
I believe that's Callum Brown from Salisbury North.
Okay, no, it's okay. I was looking. Because, again, I've got the Broadview numbers to adjust to.
Yeah, Broadview.
Oh, if I was John Kernahan for a week.
PJ Carlin, a little handball off and back to him very quickly. Heading down very aggressively towards the 50, and a beautiful flying mark there. Callum Brown saves the day right in front of the defensive 50.
So Brown heads towards the scoreboard with a short kick. Now they go long. There's a few more Tigers here than Hawks. It has to be accurate to Claughton. Umpire's found a push. Will go Claughton's way. The big ruckman wearing 29 today, but cannot miss those boots. We have a power blackout. Just follow his boots. They'll light the way for you. From that kick, Broadview on the turnover. Interestingly, we have an interesting battle of supporters. You might see on the far side, we have the normal mob from Broadview on top of the hill, but just in front of them we have a mob from Salisbury North in the green. I reckon we should be commentating from over there and in 7-second delay, because it'll be on for young and old.
Honestly, I would love to be a fly on the wall between those two groups right now. And
we should send a remote mic over there.
A boundary, but just in between those two groups. We're at the centre field, centre square. Yeah. Just a little flick up there from Salisbury. Someone needs to get their hands on it, and that someone is, I'm searching for names, Deacon.
Wearing 36. It ends up with Jordan O'Brien in the middle. We've actually got a passage of play to call, which is fantastic. Of course, this game, it is footy for a cause, and we'll talk about that. There was a ceremony before we went to air, which you may have seen, where Broadview recognised some life members and some retrospective past players, which is good to see those kind of things happening. And some awards for, if not life membership, for stellar service. This game is just underway. We don't have a time clock, so I would say that it's probably about 8 minutes early. That makes it the 5-minute mark, and no one, Taylor, as yet has even taken a shot in anger.
No, it's kind of been a little bit of tennis, just back and forth with our heads here. But we're at the defensive 50 for Broadview, kicking along the wing on the outer side of away from the stands here.
Manning with the mark.
At their 50, chasing after the ball, didn't quite make the mark. About 35 away, and there's a bit of a fight for ball as 2-on-1 there.
I'm very relieved that before the game you went down and got the numbers, because Broadview only named 20, which does give the opposition a little bit of a hand, because you are allowed 21. But Josh Byrne, number 8, was the missing player. And there's a shot on anger, and I think that has just scored. It has. So Broadview lead. They'll take that. Broadview 1, Salisbury North 0. And already some of the first interchanges happening in front of us. Balcony pretty chockers. Quite a few scattered around the grounds. What's an interesting day for footy? We'll talk more about that in a moment, because that is a huge kick.
That's half the field right there. Anyang chasing after it, slipping down. It's a very slippery field from what is very dry conditions, so it must have held a lot of moisture.
Yeah,
from the
must be wet underfoot. I found the same today. I've come from an under-18s game, kicking the dew off the grass this morning, and it was that kind of thing. We have been promised rain, 70% chance of showers and thunderstorms later, especially in the south. I think we'll be okay with the rain here, up on the balcony under a bit of cover. But right now, if you're not in Adelaide, you're missing a beautiful, clear, blue sky day, albeit with a lot of wind. And it will be the wind that will have an effect. It's with Salisbury North that have the wind first quarter. This is a number. Oh, Jamie Jones ranked 37. My numeric roster with the number changes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's actually 11 number changes from Play HQ. So if we take a while to work all this out, please bear with us. Salisbury North inside forward 50. Here's a chance. Will it sit for Brody Wagner in the pocket? He finds a teammate, but no, through the hands. Broadview mop up, and they will clear out a defence to Rossman.
Rossman at the 50, heading towards Beard, who's just cleaned up that short mark there. Looking for a player, looking for a mate, and this is the problem when you have a team who's just really great with sticking to players, and that's Salisbury North. Trying to run away with the ball, Langley, but just can't quite get away, and now it's back in the hands of Salisbury to Hay, who is a new signing this season from North Haven. We've got Rossman trying to get it away from the pack. It's just staying around the 50 until absolutely the floor into the hands of Ralph at the top of the 50, but he's not going to take the shot. He's going to give it to a mate who's a bit closer, but he's just given him danger. It's towards the 50, and Salisbury have run off with the ball. What an opportunity to take the goal and just did not go for it.
That, in a nutshell, is Broadview's season. Some promise, get excited, but in the end a little bit disappointed. But hey, we're only at the 1/3 mark. Jackson Hames the kick inside 50. Broadview doing some attacking. Manning saying, wasn't I taken a bit high? Isn't that usually a free kick? Umpire says not today. I'll give you the umpires in a brief moment. Don't want to be distracted by that while it's inside 50. Kick by Flanagan is smothered. That's Fisher with the kick out, but Broadview has set up a good wall. They'll come in again, and that's a grab to our 21st, the 21st man, literally, Josh Byrne, and he will take a shot, a set shot, Taylor, from the boundary line.
So we're at the boundary about 35. He's headed up the hill, actually, which is quite interesting. Out of bounds and up the hill. He's trying to use that height to give him a little bit of leverage.
Because what you can do is you can move around if there's usually a fence there.
Lining up the shot, trotting in, up,
away.
Up, and away.
Yeah.
That's the kicking accuracy that Broadview truly means here. We can't have another game of 21 behind.
2 behinds in the first 10 minutes. I'm just multiplying that out. That's about 7 behind. Yeah, we're on pace for 28 behind. Sorry, Taylor. That said, there's some good signs from Broadview.
Well, last match I was watching Broadview versus Golden Grove, and they took a lot more opportunity to line up their kicking accuracy, which was great to see. Kind of they learnt from that match. But today we've got Salisbury's hot and heavy pressure, not allowing them to really get that opportunity, and maybe they're getting a little hesitant in front of the goal here.
So Salisbury not a chance to go inside 50 here, but Broadview have some numbers. I'd have that as Rossman coming in and laying a hit, not looking at the ball. That was deemed to be I can't say a penalty, I can't say a foul. It's a free kick to Rosso. Rosso onto Hocking. One more mark and they've got a chance here. So this is gettable. Throw the wind up, and for Deacon, we're going to have to make a note. If we ever do a Salisbury North away game, I might have to speak to my good friend, footy manager Tommy Jura, and say, can you just let us know the numbers ahead of time? This is going to be confusing. Anyway, it is Deacon back in the side this week from 50. I thought he was running a bit close to take a shot. Instead he centres it. Looking for Richard, who was busy early last week. Salisbury North still got it. Richard, the hand pass out. Reckon this is Costanzo with the kick. No, it's Hocking with the kick. And Hocking has got the goal. At the 11-minute mark, we have our first. It is Salisbury North, 1 straight 6. Broadview, 2 behinds. And those might give you the umpires, if that's okay, Taylor. The field umpires today, Frank Manicus and Bo Girdham. The boundary umpires, Peter McMullen and Guido Porcaro. And the goal umpires, one of which waving that, well, they're both waving those flags, Chris May and Simon Keir.
It's nice to see Salisbury in an alternate jumper, but as mentioned, it has made it a bit harder for us to call numbers. But it's a beautiful white jumper.
It's a lovely, it's an alternate strip, it's fine. Just
keeps us on our toes, doesn't it, Phil?
Yeah, it'll take us about a quarter, maybe. Broadview with the clearance. They're going to go forward, straight up the middle. Thump from behind.
Punched away by Jones there.
Yeah, you've got a better grip on these change of numbers than I have.
I'm trying.
Too set in my ways. And they'll go again, Broadview. Hay running interference, taking a couple of passengers, gets the handball out, was given that time. Back to Hay in front of the scoreboard. Settles down and turnover.
Reed there, I believe, with the mark, just jumping in front of his player, heading inside 50, knocked away. Salisbury determined to just get it out of that defensive 50, but look who's there. It's Broadview's captain, O'Leary, but met with another Salisbury player there. Salisbury North.
So Broadview's kick under pressure, that went out of bounds. That should be a last disposal rule. So both these sides spent more time than they would have liked in Div 2 in recent years. They're back in Div 1. Broadview their third season. Salisbury North back this year after being minor premiers and grand finalists last year. And yep, Cooper O'Leary over the mark. That'll be a 25. Which will allow Brodie Tuck, kicked 4 goals last week, to spot up Hay. He's a long way from home. Couldn't find the contact. Here's Broadview on the counter. O'Leary running through Hill into forward 50. Who's back defending for Salisbury North? A quick pick up. Ralph with the kick. Not enough oomph. He went straight for the umpire. Costanzo was there and Salisbury North clear on the outer wing.
How tempting it would be to be an umpire if the ball came to you and just pick it.
Well, it happened once in an AFL game, and a famous or infamous moment, depending on your perspective.
We're just left of the centre saucer there with Flanagan, a ball up, scooping through. Brown is there, heading along the wing, a long but flat kind of kick there. And Jones, Pierce is running it in, a bounce, a long kick across the face, just behind, a minor score there.
Which sets one of the teams off. In fact, I think there's a guy wearing green in the Broadview huddle. I think they're a Broadview fan. It's not Salisbury North green.
Not on purpose.
But we'll keep an eye on the game, but
they're very loud.
I don't know whether it's because we're talking about them or because they're getting the football, they're up and cheering.
No, I reckon it's the footy.
Pushing the back, and in the end, no dice will be a ball up. So one of 5 games around the Adelaide Footy League Division 1. Of course, there's hundreds of games in the Adelaide Footy League. Some good ones there. St Peter's and Rocks is probably the game of the week. You can watch them all, filming footy. They're all streamed this week, although Sacred Heart, Prince Alfred you might struggle with at the middle school. Salisbury North with the clearance. Long kick coming from Hable, the coach. He's awry. So it is a little bit of a point fest again. Combination of 1 goal for Salisbury North. 1-2. Broadview, 2 behinds.
He's looking for a player, and a debut, Hart Kelly, is running around. He was free, and now he's not. That's the good thing about Salisbury North, is they know how to man up to their players, and just knocked over.
Hocking just No, so that was Brody Tuck showing a bit of love as the player was going out of bounds. Let me encourage you to be out of bounds. So you can see the pack descending on Salisbury North's forward 50 arc. They lead by a straight kick. Cloughton and Ruck up against William Reid, who's come in for White's injury. We saw the hammy 2 weeks ago. Looking forward, hopefully get Jesse White back in the side. So you would think Salisbury North have a very good 1-2 ruck combo with Rosso and Cloughton. So it'll be Reid and Carlin will probably be the 2 rucks for Broadview. They will have their work cut out. Spills to Cooper Wilson, but Broadview were about to escape with the ball. Now here's some runs, some dash. That'll make the locals on the outer wing happy. Callum Hay comes in taken high, and now they're not happy because Hay has the ball.
Back to unhappy. Headed to Hable.
Look at that.
Big, long, like bang of a kick there. Wagner looking for a player inside the 50. That's what's important here. Fensom at the 20 out from 50, and it's a mark there by Broadview stopping that chain of play.
Yeah, intended target was Halibut, and Broadview returned the turnover favour right down the throat of Richard, who I think is too far out to score. Although I did use that phrase, maybe not. Downfield free now. I was just thinking, was that? I thought for a quick moment that was a book coming out. It wasn't. But Brody Tuck, we kicked 4 last week. We're going to ride it right here, Taylor. The call is yours.
It's a beautiful line. I can see directly behind this. Just needs to go straight and fight the wind. Stepping up to the plate. A long kick just to the left makes it. Tuck in again with a fantastic start to the game. I hope he can show us that similar streak to last week. 4 goals on a Div 1 debut.
Well, that's his 6th goal in 3 games for Salisbury North. He's also played 5 games for Central's reserves this year. Initially a Salisbury North junior, but working his way through the Bulldogs system. As are many. I think I've counted, I ran out of fingers. I think it was about 13 at least of the Salisbury North squad that have been part of Central Districts, and some have been part of others. West Adelaide, North Adelaide. Dominic Costanzo's played for Centrals and for Adelaide at Sandford level. So there is that important link between the community clubs and the Sandford level. Soccer off the ground. Salisbury North just going forward. I mean, this has not been by any stretch a pretty game of football.
It's pretty ugly, pretty dirty, pretty congested.
It reminds me a lot of 2 weeks ago, actually, in similar beautiful blue sky conditions.
Both teams have come into today's match really wanting the win, coming off losses. It's really interesting. Salisbury North are trying to prove themselves in Div 1, and Broadview are trying to prove that they should stay.
Exactly right. Salisbury North,
chasing the ball into the 50. Wagner's there for a minus score. Tuck chases it down.
So Salisbury North are having their fair share of field position at the moment. It hasn't been Broadview's end for a while, after Broadview had a bit of it down there in the earlier stages. I've got it 21 minutes into the first quarter, but that is completely unofficial time. And given it's been a 2-goal quarter, might not go too long. Manning has it. He looked our way and said, I'm not kicking it to those guys. Goes the other way. Fair enough. The attempt to fish at a spoil, spills out of bounds. Now, was it touched? It was. There's a whole bunch of people. I wonder if that's sort of a regular thing, because they've got the chairs. I actually can see someone knitting on the hill.
Amazing.
Okay.
I should bring out the knitting
while I commentate. Knit while you commentate.
I don't know if I could deal with that. That's too many moving pieces, but we love it. All generations are out here. You know, your nans with your knitting, your granddads, your dads, your mums. I was
Here
Hearing a
comes
little girl talk about
Salisbury
her.
North. A good run from the clearance to the middle. 101 contest. No mark taken by Richard. Hable is playing a bit more upfield today. He was very much a dour defender last week against Rocks. And spills out of bounds. 23 minutes gone. Salisbury North look like they're all on the way to winning the quarter. They lead currently by 13 points. They'd love one more.
Something I've noticed from Broadview is they're fantastic with their defence and attacking and getting it towards their end. But it's once they're inside the 50, they start to panic. And we're just kind of hanging around that 50 line at the moment with a pass off from Reed. And
that was a good clearance. And they found the target. All right.
Straight to the chest of Beard. Fantastic. But
and Salisbury North match up pretty well. And we haven't seen too many loose players. Bar that one... That soccer kick that ended up a mark inside 50 seems a long while ago. Broadview haven't had anything like that opportunity for a while. Salisbury North are getting the clearances. They're winning the ruck there. Broadview are sort of playing from behind a bit, having to start everything off a turnover. Toby Kay was the man tripped up. His kick to a white jersey ends up with Dion Lawler. Happy to take some time. Quarter time imminent, maybe a couple of minutes away. Again, the long kick looking for Richard, although it is a pick-up. Here comes Salisbury North. Todd Pearce with the long kick. If it bounces over and through, no, yes, maybe. Yes. What a bounce. Toby Pearce. I thought... Oh no, it's not going to. It's going to bounce left. It took a real hard right bounce, and I thought for a moment too hard. And well, first 3 goals all going the way of the Happy Hawkers.
You've been pretty chuffed after that one, I'd say.
Yep, like to see that one in the highlights tape. So right now, early alarm bells ringing for Broadview. They would not. Now remember, Salisbury North have the breeze. And I guess we saw that come to use on that long kick. So it's not exactly too concerning if you are trailing at quarter time, but you wouldn't want it to be too much more than this. Carlin's gone into the ruck. He's up against Russo, so the two back up ruck. And Carlin's just gone flat, check in the... maybe not. It's going to be a ball up. Shouldn't prejudge what our umpire is going to say.
Just flattened Russo there, though.
There was a certain element of a pancake in there somewhere. Harville held up. Summer just dropped it on the boot. It's another chance going forward for Deacon. His kick, though, has missed everything. And I reckon that siren is not too far away now. To the outer side. That's a good grab. Under a fair bit of pressure, and a Salisbury North player who's a little slow to get up in Jake Wagner. Looking for Carlin. A mullet man's there as well. Clout, oh gee, it's the big men doing battle. In the end, some quick hands courtesy of Harter Kelly. Broadview have it.
Mark by Hames there, ready to kick it along the outer wing, right in front of the fans.
Yeah. Penetrating kick to the half-forward flank. That's another Broadview mark. They've taken some good grabs. Here's a runner. Here's an inside 50. Can it be a chance at a first goal? Battling hard for it is Reed.
Reed's playing the wrong sport.
I was about to say, went for the soccer, which is fine, but if you're going for the soccer, you better kick the ball, and no mark. Missed by that much.
Oh gosh, what a first quarter.
Yeah.
We're here at Broadview Oval with Salisbury North versus Broadview, and what a fantastic kind of taste of what we're in for today. A really congested game where it's obvious that both sides are really going to have to fight to get the ball down their end, staying down their end, and take those quick shots at goal. So thank you so much for being here. We are here with Filming Footy, Sports Interactive, Classic Clashes, Custom by ORTC, High Five E-Bikes, Starfish, Archie's, Jag Meatworks, Kimberley Resorts and Programs to Fit, with the current score Tigers 0-2 and and Salisbury North 3-3. Headed into quarter time.
Am I on the way?
Broadview Oval here today with our match against Salisbury North against Broadview Tigers. We've had a fantastic first quarter with a real congested kind of play. We've seen 3 goals come out of Salisbury North from Hocking, Tuck and Pearce today, but none from the Tigers. Interested to see what the second quarter has in store for us today. We're here thanks to Filming Footy, as well as Sports Interactive, Classic Clashes, Custom by ORTC, High Five E-Bikes, Dartfish, Archie, Jags Meatworks, Kimberley Resorts and Programs to Fit. I'm here with Phil Herden and Sammy on camera as we head into the second quarter.
Thanks, Taylor. Some scores around the ground in the BDR Excavations Division 1. St Peter's leading Ross Trevor 3-2 20 to 1-3-9. Golden Grove leading Payneham up at Harpers Field 4-4 28. Payneham 1-5 11. Here's a surprise at the middle school. Prince Alfred 6-2-38, leading the undefeated Sacred Heart 1-1-7. Also a surprise at Largs, Country Living Homes Reserve. I've been told I've got to mention that. Glenunga 3-4-22, Port District 1-8-14, and of course here it's Salisbury North 3-3-21 Broadview. Looking for that first goal on 2 behinds. We're back in the middle. Broadview have the wind. Will that lift up their chances? Secondary stoppage. Carlin in the ruck, up against Russo. I can't even call that a Salisbury North clearance because the kick with the wind just brought it sideways. It is actually a Broadview clearance. Sock again, not a pretty possession, but it goes forward. And I'm almost wondered if we're watching, I don't know, what's the local league called? The MPL? Yeah, because we've seen a lot of soccers today. That one out of bounds, and it will be Salisbury North ball. Will be in the hands of Brock Fensom.
Fensom looking for a mate along the wing. It's congested with PJ Carlin almost ready to tap it, but it just got thrown over.
He had a couple in front of him. But looks like he's going to be a key target for Broadview. Let's try and set up some structure. Salisbury North. Sorry.
PJ again with Russo there and trying to catch. Outrage. Absolute outrage.
Yeah. I think the Salisbury North group have just realised that they should have brought some visors because the sun is now becoming... They've all got their hands up trying to watch the sun. Russo the tap. Costanzo. I've got to get used to the fact the team have changed ends and Salisbury North are now heading to the left of your screen. Pretty good pick-up from Pearce, although Broadview will pick it up. Now it's an open forward line. Hay comes out to attack the ball. He really had to grab that or else it would have been an open Broadview shot. Hay, look at him run hard. He's through the middle. He wants the backup hand pass. He wants to kick this goal. He scored one last week. He's still in the thick of it. He's gone from defensive 50 to attacking 50 as Salisbury North go through. Richard at the bottom of the pack. Habel's kick is smothered. Back to Richard. He breaks free. He sees an open goal. His kick is smothered. And it's going to be... No, it's not going to be a ball up. Umpire lets it go. Broadview trying to clear. I need to take a breath. It's still with Lawler. Carlin takes the ball off of him. Someone please kick this football. It's back inside 50. I'll take a mark. Well, it was a mark.
Take a breath.
Instead it's going to be a stoppage. I'll take a breath. Taylor, take it away.
That was a long call of play for just a bit of knocking around, I reckon. Tossing at the top of the 50. PJ Carlin knocking it away. It's a congested play there. Back into the hands of the ump for another toss-up. Same place. Top of the 50. Kicked out of the defensive 50. Broadview away. And Jones takes it, sends it back towards the wing, where waiting is Broadview, kicking it Salisbury North. Constanzo's there. And we've now got a short, medium kick into the 50 by Russo, where he's looking for a player right of goal. A mark at the top of the goal square is O'Brien, captain and best and fairest last year. So let's see if he can give it his best and fairest shot today.
Yeah, well, so two clubs, Salisbury North and Central District. And if he kicks this, it'll be the first goal to the left of screen, and Salisbury North will really have a buffer to play with.
Lining up with just about 7 minutes into the quarter, sending it between the big sticks and celebrations, high fives. Lads, look at me, I've done it.
Look at me, look at me.
Look at me, I've done it, lads. I think just proving their theory as well that the kicking end is to the right.
Well, or maybe disproving it that they've managed to now kick one to the left. But it was a good grab, 25 metres out. You would expect 9 times out of 10 you're going to seal that, and that's what the captain O'Brien did. Game high lead, it's 4-3-27, Broadview still on 2 behinds. And we're soon going to find out, are we in for a good day or a long day? As we go back to the middle. Russo and Carlin. Carlin tap.
Into the air. Carlin's there. Sending into the 50 where there's a swarm of hawks waiting for the ball to come in and just send it back their way. Laylor sending along the wing. Just looking for a buddy there. Another hocking grab. These are short, sharp marks. Fantastic from O'Brien there.
I'll tell you what, the skill level with the kicks from Salisbury North, players are free, but not by a lot.
Tons of direction and intention. Brown.
Now, what was I just saying about the kicking skill?
And that was from Halibut, our top of goal ladder kicker. Like, he is leading the league with
7 goals 2 weeks ago.
Well, 14 goals total across 5 games, which is insane statistics.
Sam had one of those last week at Rocks, which he nailed for his sole goal. Broadview bring it out. Here's a mystery. Here's a man that we should call out because he gets high on the best players, James Langley. He needs something to stand out with. He needs strange coloured boots. He's sort of got a little bit of a crop of hair coming out the front. Maybe that's the only thing that distinguishes him. We need to know it when he gets the ball because he usually does something good with it. In this case, get it to Hill.
He's open again.
Hill now. Use the breeze. Hey! Geez, he's playing a good defensive game. Comes up. Quick kick away to a few targets. Is there a push? There is. Will go the way of Halibut, and if it was... Oh, there's a scrag, and this turns from, to me, being too far out to score to he's going to have a shot on goal. Because he's going to kick from about 30, and even with the breeze, that shouldn't be a problem.
Maybe it's a take 2 for Halibut here, who can prove that he is a top goal kicker after what we just saw.
Yeah, he wouldn't want to kick this one like the last one.
We're about 5 out from 50 as he trots in. A steady approach. Oh.
Okay, well, he aimed the first one terribly left. He's compensated.
Yeah, somewhere.
And then he's overcompensated.
It's like bowling. You know, you've got to find exactly where to roll it down the middle.
It's great to have leg spin, but you can't put it on their legs or else it'll be a wide. Because you can, we're here and we've got one of the trademark landmarks of this facility is there's a Broadview FC flag, which is great because it tells us which way the wind's blowing. And he didn't allow for the sideways breeze on that occasion. But might get another chance here. Cloughton's kick. Russo gets some friends. However, it spills to Hill. Hill's got a free player further down in Brian.
Brian comes from, he's a season permit from Port Adelaide Sample, so a great last
they gave one back. How nice of them. Over Hay, chance for Ralph around the body. Bounce will be critical.
Oh.
That missed by a lot less than I initially thought it might.
Yeah, that was a little too close for comfort.
Okay. And the Broadview fans are cheering. If they decided after a couple of weeks ago, we're just going to cheer any score that we manage.
I think
goal behind, because it is one of those unique things about Aussie rules. What other game do people cheer when your opponent scores? As they often do when someone misses a gettable goal. 4 goals, 5 to 3 behinds. I've got no idea how much time is. I even forgot to look at it this time. Broadview, a couple of inside 50s, a couple of shots, but no major on the board as yet. Salisbury North looking more and more comfortable as this game progresses. And we'll have another stoppage. It's the attacking edge of the centre square, pretty much right in front of us, on a beautiful day to be under under cover on a balcony, watching some footy.
Well, the last time these two teams met was when they were both in Division 2. So it's been 3 years, I believe, since their previous meeting, which is in 2022. And Broadview won by 100 points at this same oval, but pre-renovations.
Well, that's probably why Broadview got to Division 1 before Salisbury North did.
Yeah, it was a bit of a race to Division 1, I believe.
Because they both consider themselves traditional Division 1 clubs, and they've both had success at the highest level. I'll tell you what, Hay is raking up the touches.
He's got a magnet, like a footy magnet on his chest, I swear. Just straight in every time. It's a fantastic player.
He's almost like an attacking defender in some ways. Obviously there's a forward he's keeping an eye on, but he's running off them a fair bit. Of course, give the man a compliment, he turns it over, and I think that's Hill. Away from the turn around to confirm. Turns one way then the other. Give me a number, son.
That's Broadview.
But it is a Broadview goal.
Ecstatic.
And that's a really important one. Is that the spark that lifts them? Tyron Hill is the confirmed goal scorer. Thank goodness for that. He's been around. He's Roosters, North Adelaide reserves, 18-16s, Eagles reserves, initially from Gazer. A team that has struggled in recent times, but actually won a game 2 weeks ago. Just hoping the players remembered the words of the song. So the margin, 29 points, now a flat 20.
Back to square dot. Running away with it.
Okay.
All right, play on.
I just saw. Did I just see a Broadview player removed from proceedings?
A spin and brought straight down. That's Hable, the captain there, is got a little ego bruise as well as a bit of a bruise on his hip from that one, I reckon. At the 50.
An ego bruise. I like that phrase. Can I use that phrase?
You absolutely can. In front of the goal square, we're looking for it way out, and
here we
way
go.
Out. A little sprint, a little run, sending it to the 50. Happy. That was Captain O'Leary showing him how it's done. PJ Carlin marking 15 out, but slightly to the right of your screen. It's got to be a curve of a shot here, which is taking it further to the right.
Carlin last year was at North Adelaide, where he played 1 reserves game and 15 under 18. So, by my maths, Taylor, if he's played under 18s, he's either this year, last year, this year he's got to be 18 or 19.
He's a young lad for sure, showing us how it's done. Walking up with a precise line, sending it up. Happy with a minor score.
He's not. He's questioning. He's suggesting an optometrist for the goal umpire. Goal umpire is the best view, and that's another behind.
They all fall over each other there, but no one gets the ball.
Is it footy or 10-pin bowling? A little tackle there by Coach Hable in front of the Salisbury North fans. Gets the hands moving. Rather
close to the boundary there, like. Impressive they're not.
All right, here comes the throw. And the Rucks go to it. Clawton, I think, got the tap. They should get the clearance. They do now. Ends up with Hable. Kick inside 50, but very steady mark from Broadview. They waste no time. They go to their speedster O'Leary. This time Salisbury North have someone waiting for him. It's to Hill, to Hames. Long kick. A smother might see it through. It's touched. It's a free kick. It's going to Broadview. Hay is incredulous. If he gives away a 25, it will only be about 8. And PJ Carlin, well, he missed the last one. I don't think he's going to miss this one. But yeah, this is some really fantastic transition from Broadview. with Cooper O'Leary, one of the key link men in that process.
Yeah, the key is to get it to Cooper and he'll bolt it upfield.
That's right.
Out front of the goal square.
Oh no!
Post!
Oh no!
That hurt. He just got his head down. PJ.
Oh gee.
PJ.
Hey look.
Oh.
If Broadview were not having bad luck this season, they wouldn't be having any luck whatsoever. No one happier than Hay about the result of that. And he's so filled with adrenaline, he's kicked it out of bounds. So Broadview will return the favour with an interesting kick. That's Gadaddle's burn. A defensive clearance. It's not the prettiest of football. White. Okay, let's try this again. Toby Kay with the kick. And Hay again. Not only does he love taking a big mark, it's like he's got all the tools in many ways, but I better let you call some footy, Taylor. It's Salisbury North on the outer wing.
Running along the edge, sliding in, I believe.
Yeah, too high.
2-on-1, looking for the ump for an answer.
3 straight goals the difference.
In the hands of Broadview, looking for a mate.
Of the history.
Just over the side, looking for it. A long kick, but no player. Confused at the whistle. Coming back.
So this is Langley. Now, you think he's too far out to score? Does he think he's too far out to score? Don't forget, wind at the back. No, he's going to frame it up. To Kalen at the hot spot, who goes one grab, couldn't quite pull it on the second. Broadview ball, but can't escape the Hawks' defence. And it will be a ball up. If Broadview can kick 2 in a row, it would be just the most wonderful fillip for them. I'm not sure I think they kicked 2 in a row once when we saw them 2 weeks ago. Hames the high kick, 1-on-1 contest. Spills to Brown for Salisbury North. He's under pressure as defenders become attackers and attackers become defenders. In the end, he gets a bit willing. There's a Salisbury North player who's going to get up. When he does, because he was taken high, it's Jones. He'll have a free kick. And he finds Brodie Wagner right at the top of the defensive goal square.
Richard there, another short pass. They're just finding ground, finding spare players with space. A high kick, searching for Deacon. Slips away from his hands. A little knockabout here, but we've got Halibut ready for the save to send it back down his end. And there they are, the Broadview Tigers waiting.
Too high.
Bring it back.
Yes, as Deacon was off because, of course, with the when you get a game that has congestion, everyone in one spot, you break it open with a quick long kick. It's an open space, and suddenly it becomes a game of speed. It's a kick down the clubhouse wing, falls in the lap. Pretty sure it was touched to Reed, so he gets it on the boot pretty quickly. It takes a right-hand turn. Hay knows, because he's a smart footballer, that means he's going to get the ball. Oh no, it was deemed touched. Okay, fair enough. Will be a throw in. A break goes Broadview's way. 4-5-29, Salisbury North. 1-5-11, Broadview. Heading into what I think are the latter stages of the second quarter. It's weird when you can't remember how long the quarter's gone for. It feels like it's been a while.
It feels like
Hill
doesn't it?
has 1 goal. Hey, the smother and the recovery. Okay, yeah, so we're not far from time on in this quarter.
Scatting with the scoop, just knocking it offside.
Salisbury North by 19 points at quarter time, they now lead by 18 points. So Broadview have winning the quarter, but only by 1 point with a 3 to 4 goal breeze. Hill escapes. 2, takes a bounce, audacious, draws the defence to Burn, kick around the body, has dobbed it. Broadview have got their second, and they just stay in touch. And because Josh was a late inclusion to play HQ, I have no information at all about Josh Brown. What do you got?
Well, as I mentioned, he was a Samford Port Adelaide player. This is his first, according to Play HQ, his debut in the whole league.
Right.
So,
welcome to the Adelaide Footy League.
Welcome to the Adelaide Footy League. There's a goal for you. You know, like I think he's very happy to have definitely got his name on the board in game 1 for the Adelaide Footy League for Josh Bryan.
Yeah, 1 game, 1 goal. Always a good start. Just gives Broadview a bit of hope. Salisbury North kicked the first 3 goals. Broadview have kicked 2 of the last 3. It is Salisbury North with the clearance. Rosso to O'Brien. Now it's with Coach Harble. Heads in the Clarkton direction, who's resting up forward. Puts up the big mitts. Can't take it. Is front and square. At the moment, no one but Tigers. O'Brien, though, comes in there to run interference on that plan to clear out of defence. And it will be a stoppage into the final few minutes of the first half. Cloughton resting as the ruck, goes up as the ruck. It ends up, I thought that was Carlin's tap, ends up with a kick Salisbury North to the square, through some hands, and out of bounds. That will be not last disposal. We'll go with the traditional boundary throw in, and I'll get you.
Throwing in just on the left of the goalposts. Broadview looking to place themselves in a good standing prior to the end of this quarter. Back offside and we'll have another throw in.
So there are 2 players, Broadview side of centre.
Up in front, 50, about 35 out from goal. We're having real congested play, and Haynes, I believe, knocks it out with the side of his foot away, and we're chasing after it. Is Pierce there? Goal kicker sends to Brown along the face of the stands here. Is Brown against? That's 2 brothers, I believe.
Okay, could be.
Just to the 50. A clean mark there by Wilson. Oh, I'm incorrect. Sorry, that was Deacon. Sending into the hands of
Halibut. Now,
their goal kicker. That's exactly who you want to send it to, inside the 50. Now he's just got to. He sent it to the left. He sent it to the right. Now he's just got to make it middle.
You got it.
We are looking a little bit left of goal towards the stands here.
Yeah.
In the shade trees, which is nice.
It's a beautiful ground.
It's absolutely stunning ground. We're kicking away from the city. Lining up and taking his time.
How far out is he?
About 45 out, just close to the 50, trotting in. He's found that angle, not quite across the face.
He's got to go a little bit tighter and let the breeze take it round, but not on that occasion. So, Broadview fans can just breathe a little bit easier. Just the behind conceded. Margin goes from 12 to 13, which means that at the moment Broadview are winning the quarter, which can't have too much time left. All they've got to do is try and clear it out of here. Well, maybe one last dash with the wind, but it spills out of bounds in front of the Boffo Real Estate scoreboard. Well, it is in Broadview. We've got the Kirin Kyoketsu scoreboard for us. Salisbury 4-6, Broadview 2-5. Which, when you add it all up, is 30 to 17. Again, a low scoring affair given the dry conditions.
Congested place, stuck at the
that
top
is
of the
congested
50
play.
there. I can't even tell who's in that.
Terrell Hocking
scrummage.
was laying some pain train there on Carlin.
Sandwich press.
Okay, trying to break it out. Sometimes you go backwards to go forwards, but in the end all we've done is move it maybe 10 metres for another stoppage.
I believe captain in there, Brian showing some pressure.
What will come first, a half-time siren or possession? We'll find out as the Rucks do go to it. Salisbury North were threatening a possession. Russo was depossessed by a number 4 that I don't know. Maybe that was Hill, and I lose the 1 somehow in the gold stripe along the back. Another stoppage and a ball up. Got a few Salisbury North fans there on the hill. In the deck chairs. Carlin grabs it, brings it down. There's my possession. We did get one before half-time. Towards the Salisbury North fans, that will spill out of bounds. One of the kids gets a touch of the footy. Mum says just leave it alone for the boundary umpires. I feel this is turning into a little bit of an anticlimax, but if someone suddenly breaks free, and well, you never know. Russo, the hand pass. Okay, Salisbury North have the clearance. Now it's into a little bit more open space, but Broadview defender knows the golden rule. Play in front. So when it dropped with the breeze, he was ready to go. That was Tyler McKenzie. So Broadview are almost playing a short possession game, which is interesting given 1, they trail, and 2, they have the breeze for whatever is left of this quarter. Now we've got a longish kick. Hill gets it forward to Manning, and just as Broadview get to forward 50, the siren goes. Half time here at Broadview Oval.
So at Broadview Oval here today, we've got the Broadview Tigers at 2-5 and Salisbury North at 4-6. We've had fantastic play here on the grounds, beautiful dry and sunny day, yet slippery conditions on field and quite windy ones as well. We'd like to thank our sponsors of our 5 live streams of Division 1, brought to you by Filming Footy, Sports Interactive, Classic Clashes, custom by ORTC, High Five E-Bikes, Dartfish, Archie's, Jag Meatworks, Kimberley Resorts and Programs to Fit. I'm here with Phil Herden and Sammy on camera as we head into halftime.
And welcome back. Thanks to the Broadview Footy Club for the hospitality, which we enjoyed. Did make it back for the start. Centre clearance. Quick play. Wagner. Long kick. Goal line. Behind. So,
Not afraid to use fists today, I've noticed.
Fists,
fist
soccer,
throwing,
whatever it takes.
Any sport you're willing to throw out there, go for it, honestly. Today's match, whatever gets you points on the board.
So if you just joined us, Salisbury North with the breeze, which has not that the flag is still really going strong. 19 points at quarter time, 13 points at the half. I'll get you some scores around the grounds because there's some interesting ones out there in the BTR Excavations Division 1. As they're just having a conference, so maybe I will talk about this. St Peter's and Rocks was going to be a close game. It is a close game. Spock 5-5, Rocks 5-4. 1 point at Cater Oval. Golden Grove and Payneham. Golden Grove 6-8-44. Payneham looking for their first win. Kicking not helping 2-8-20. More to come.
Top at the 50, a little side skirt kick there. Doesn't quite make the mark to find the hands of a teammate, and now it's back in Broadview arms. I believe that's O'Leary there, speeding down into the arms of Hames, but not quite, kind of just fumbles it, and there's Fisher just giving that intense defensive pressure.
Hames got the ball, and then Fisher got him. Russo said, where's my ruck opponent? Well, I'll just take the ball away. Caleb Jones into some space, half forward flank. Halibut, who's 0-3 in the first half, to our man Langley. Nice little shepherd.
Very vocal fans.
Yeah, well, it happens right in front of the fans.
I do not hate that.
I think we'll stay out of that one, but it's a boundary throw in.
We didn't even need to say that,
We're not gonna say
they
anything.
disagreed. I think you really heard that from our audience.
That's O'Leary, who's been a bit of the ignition point for Broadview when they have kick goals.
Absolute gun when the ball ends up in his hands.
Got the speed. It's going to head his way right now. Actually, I don't think that was O'Leary. There's Langley. And he's found Flanagan. Just quick, I was going to give you the other two scores, just as well I didn't, because he's gone further downfield.
Ralph,
I think they gained some yardage out of that. We've got Toby Wilson.
So Wilson made his Div 1 debut 2 weeks ago, and he's yet to have a Div 1 goal. So maybe this will be the moment where he finally gets a point on the Division 1 board. Thank you very much.
Love it.
At the 50, long strides in, placing himself nice with a thumper, and it's true. A beautiful, beautiful goal. Straight between the big sticks, and you could hear the roar of the crowd here at Broadview Oval. Happy chappies.
Well, Kobe Wilson's a bit of a travelling wanderer. Last year, Jeps Cross. 2023, the Donnybrooks of Williston. 2022, the Eagles of Elizabeth. 2021, Gawler Central. He's also spent some time with Central District at the junior levels, and then I ran out of space.
Too much on the resume.
So there may be more, but that's the recent stuff. Most importantly, Broadview have kicked 3 of the last 4. Salisbury North blew a big lead last week. So Tiger fans, I mean, any goal into the breeze is worth a lot. It's almost worth 2 for Broadview.
Heading away from the inside circle here with Wilson kicking it along the wing, sends it to Flanagan, who's looking for a mate. It goes up into the hands of Langley, who's ready. He's there. He's in the rectangle, sending a low ball through into the 50. A little fumble there, but who's got it in the hands? Caleb Jones losing it there, and Hames Manning unable to keep his hands on the ball as it goes offside. intense pressure there from Salisbury, not letting them move anywhere towards the goalposts. Salisbury North.
So it was Russo with the tackle, got the holding the ball. Another free kick will go the way of the Tigers. They have done almost all the attacking in this third quarter. An early clearance by Salisbury North, got it behind. That's it so far. So this is Hill directing some traffic, goes deeper into that pocket. I'll tell you what, sticking up the big mitts and collecting it is Brian. And he's going back. He's turned his back on everybody, which I know, having called some games with some coaches, they hate that. Because you should always be looking at opportunities. But what it shows is, I've got it, I'm in range, I'm going to kick it. What I'm not sure about is if he's in range with this breeze. He unloads the kick, sorry. And didn't quite make the distance, forced through. Sorry, Taylor, I took away your set shot. Very rude of me. Hey, has it. Leaps away. Spots up and finds Jake Wagner on the half-back flank. Notice how the balcony is sort of a bit empty now that we're having the half-time refreshment. They're all inside enjoying the food and drink. But Salisbury North, if it sits, there's half a chance here. It doesn't for Halibat. Quick response by Broadview. Hill's been massive. Of course, we do have the $50 voucher, which is for the Bartley Hotel today, and the Archie's footwear, which we have to choose a winner. And Rossman has it. I thought you were telling me for a sec that was going to be who you think we should give it to. I think, okay. Salisbury North get up the man with the ball there, might be a chance. Hayes been ultra impressive. Harville, he's always impressive. For many a year I've seen him play. Jordan O'Brien will keep the ball outside of Broadview's 50s. We've got a bit of cloud coming over. It's just all of a sudden got a little cooler. Broadview free to Flanagan. He puts it up. Chance for Ralph. Ralph and Hay. And Hay's free. Callum Hay, a name that I knew from North Haven last year. He's been a revelation in defence for Salisbury North. Again, they're using the long breeze. It's right in front of us. And again, a couple of players just losing their footing.
Scattered and Wilson working side by side to try and get the ball there. Ends up in the hands of Russo.
Deacon, some really good second and third efforts there. Salisbury North had the numerical advantage momentarily. Now Broadview do. Ball with Hill.
A little drop pass there to Scadden. Tricky play. A side step kind of kick, ends up with a short mark. Finding the places of his teammates, and there's Hay with a running scoop. Just past the middle here. Haynes is looking for a mate, but Salisbury are really great at keeping that defensive pressure on, and he doesn't find the hands of anyone in particular, but it ends up such interesting and colourful wordplay here up in the balcony. Back in the hands of O'Leary.
At least it was family friendly. O'Leary goes a long way off the mark. And grabbed. Well, if this is kicked, it is a 1-point football game.
Caleb Jones at the 50.
Jones, who played 19 reserves games last year. He's played 2 reserves games this year. Made his A-grade debut this year. Has not kicked an A-grade goal for his beloved Broadview Tigers.
Lining up the goal. Desperate to even the goal score here. Across the face as we lose the wind here.
When I saw that, and I saw he's gone for the left goal post, I thought he's got it exactly where I would have kicked it. But you saw the wind. So you probably got to kick, you aim for the point side of the left goal post, I think, to get those shots, because a lot of those on the angle have missed. Salisbury North We're feeling a little bit of pressure at the moment. They look like they were coasting early stages of the second quarter, especially when they kicked the first goal of it into the breeze. Lays a good tackle. Halabout playing a bit upfield, gets it. Puts the kick up. Broadview have the numbers. Tuck. Kick forward by Brodie Wagner. Now Broadview on the ricochet. Looking for Heyman. Just Fisher. That's a real aggressive haircut to go with his defensive style. Don't argue, take the mark. Hawks through the middle. T-Saucer. And it's a clean bowls tuck, unfortunately. Carlin has it for Broadview. Let's see what they can do with Hill.
Hill looking for a handball across to Jones, who sends it up to the top of the goal square, bit left really, waiting for a player, but we don't have anyone who's able to get his hands on the ball with Jones until it gets sent across the side. Kicking
just in
by Hocking. Looking for a player at the top of the 50. We look like we have an injury here on field. Broadview, as it ends up in the hands of Hay.
Hey, happy to take some time. The other scores quickly in the other two games I didn't mention. Prince Alfred still leads Sacred Heart, but only by 7 points, 7-5 to 6-4. We've got an injured player, and it's Carlin. That's no good. And he's clutching. For a moment, I thought he was clutching his hemi, as Jesse White did about this very same time 2 weeks ago, and he's coming off, and that could leave Broadview down a big man.
Looks like something in the back is causing him pain. He landed smack on it. I reckon a bit of ice, a bit of TLC, and hopefully we should see him back on the field to fight for his side.
Yeah. So right now, Spock by 13, Golden Grove by 52, Princes by 7, and it's Port District now in front by 22 over Glenunga.
Fisher sending it into a pack where waiting was Deacon along, who kicks it along the 50, and Anyang scoops it up, but not quite. Almost taken out there. Hart Kelly, our Div 1 debut, on the grab. But there's Langley with a swift mark. O'Leary, that signature jet style along the wings, ending it, but just not finding the player he wanted. Fisher.
Interesting one. Hay led with the head. Got collected, got the free. Always an interesting one for mine. Callum Brown. They're going way back, Salisbury North, to open it up now. They're off down the wing. They've got some loose players. Here's Costanzo, true centre wing. Kick into some space. Hope the two Salisbury North boys don't run into each other. They don't. Halabout with the pick-up, the turn, the kick. Out the back there, half a chance. Hand pass should set it up. Doesn't get any easier for Tyson Richard. All he had to do was remember to keep straight and put the ball on the boot. And just like that, it gets a little quiet here at Broadview over. Salisbury North do get one with the breeze. It's been a while. They go to 5-7, 37. Broadview, who fair to say had done majority of the attacking in this quarter, into the breeze, are 3-7. That's 25.
That's Salisbury North's first goal since first 5 minutes of the last quarter, of the second quarter.
So almost a quarter goal, more than a quarter goalless.
Definitely hungry for it, so it's nice to break that.
But you can see that
on the side of the board.
It all started by going. That was a coast-to-coast play. They went way back, opened up the loose man, the one on, and then won a key contest at centre half forward. That with the breeze spilled out the back, and then had the numbers for an easy goal. Clearance through some hands. This could just be 2 in a minute. Alas, not.
O'Leary was determined there, though, to show... Oh, sorry. That was Halibut there, ready to show why he's
0-4 today. Don't want to put any pressure on the man.
Broadview's come into the season with quite a younger team. A lot of them coming up from reserves, which is really great to see. And rewarding players for being with the club and the league for a long time and having them prove their worth, come up to the top.
There's 6 players.
Yeah.
That didn't play A grade with them before.
Fantastic. It means that they work well together. That was Rossman there, sending it into the 50. Laylor trying to scoop it up for his side. Finds Hay, but heavy pressure.
Just got rid of that.
And another tackle just on the side. It was back-to-back tackles there for Broadview. Determined to get the ball and not let the score get too far away from them.
Lovely grassed raised hill in that pocket where fans can sit down and get an elevated view of things. It's a lovely place to watch footy. You can bring your car, you can bring your picnic rug, you can come up on the balcony. Lots of different options. It's going to be Broadview ball. With O'Leary. Yep.
Sending it for a mark inside 50, searching for Manning, his vice. Second in charge and his right-hand man. He knew exactly where to look. Basically taking over where O'Leary started from.
Brian, I think.
We'll run through. Yeah, Brian. That's our new Samford Port Adelaide season permit. He's brought it.
I did say aim on the inside of the goal. I didn't say aim at the blind post. But you can even see the curve, just a little too late.
Don't take Phil Herden's advice too literally. It's what we've learned.
Well, just in the right measurement.
In the right measurement.
3 goals, 8 for Broadview. Salisbury North go looking for Clout. They let him on the first bounce. Reed's back. That's a good sign. Wagner's kick.
Smothered by Hames there.
Smothered by Haynes. Broadview still going forward now. They've got a loose man. Abel got the hand pass on. Inside 50 we go. And Yang though. Manager Russo saying Tuck saying what about the hold? And Yang says, well, how about we talk about the ball, because I got it. That's it. He's kicked it to Richard, who with this breeze, this is within his range. Richard already has 1.
Can it be back-to-back, though, is the question.
8-goal game in total. He's got a chance to be the first multiple goal scorer. And he's got to do the opposite. He's probably got to head for the right-hand post, right-hand goal post, and let it swing back in.
About halfway through the third quarter, lining up his shot. He's a known goal kicker, ready to show us how it's done. Back-to-back goals. Can he do it? Just short and off the hands. Ooh, bit of shoves there in the goal.
Halibut just needed another metre, and he would have had to put on the boot, kick it through, but he was already on the goal line. So 5-9 to 3-8. That's a 13-point lead to the visitors, who sit with a 3-2 record. Their sole losses, Salisbury North, have been by 4 points and 3 points. They're just over, or even like a kick away from a perfect season. But instead they sit in 5th. It's that kind of year. Here comes the inside kick. There's an open player.
You don't want to leave Halibut open in the goal inside
now
50.
Surely this is his.
On the favoured end. There's not a chance he doesn't go for this, right?
You often wonder how much of this game is the physical and how much is the mental. Well, right now, it's almost all mental with a physical execution.
Coming in with a relaxed grip but a steady approach. A little hop, a trot, sending. Happy. 2 hands. That's a major score there. And bringing Salisbury North ahead.
Yep. Last 2 goals to Salisbury North. It looked like for a while they were struggling to take advantage of this breeze. Now they've opened what I wouldn't call a match-winning lead. It's 19 points. But it's funny how the game has just kind of flipped. Suddenly there's no inside 50s for Broadview. It's all going Salisbury North's direction. And Broadview might just rue the fact that they only got the 1 goal when they had that period of field dominance early in this third quarter. But we're back in the middle. Clown gets the tap. Wagner got a kick only as far as Reed, who puts it up. It'll be straight up, almost straight down. Takes a Broadview bounce. A lot of players struggling to pick up the ball, knowing if they do they'll be tackled. Harble, a little soft kick. Broadview have it though. Scadden's got to get out of trouble. Beard got the hand pass on. Is there a target forward, front and square? There is. Now this is Byrne again. I think with the breeze, this is going to be too far. But we'll take it as a set shot. Maybe we won't. Into the pocket. Carlin's back.
That wasn't long. I didn't even see Carlin return to field, and yet he's back with a powerful hello.
He's a little bit closer.
He's at the 50, but to the left.
Now, nobody from this side of the field has worked out how to kick one of these properly yet.
Can Carlin break the curse?
And he's going to be close distance-wise, you would think. Reckon he started in the right spot.
Absolutely. That was taking the wind with caution and using it to your ability there. Aiming really what we thought would be a behind on the left, but just seeing how the wind carried it across straight through the big post.
So we know now.
We know now.
Head for the middle. As long as you're a fair way out.
Broadview will be well happy with that, because that brings them back in contention.
That's a huge goal. Mm-hmm. That is I just almost tried to trip up my cameraman. Not a good career move. Yeah, that's a huge goal. Salisbury North just don't establish that tiny bit of momentum. Broadview bring themselves back in it. They're within 13 points. Coming home with the breeze. Still very much a shot here.
Up in the air, and PJ comes out firing, happy with that goal and ready to take on what's next. O'Brien coming out of the scrummage there, heading out of the fifth.
Hill.
Head centre is Hill. We're looking for a player who can help us through the line. And that's a minor score there that had me gasped.
Had at the balcony semi-excited.
Yeah.
Mind you, you want to talk about the handy points? We're way too early for that. What was 13 is now 12. 2 straight goal contests. So it just kind of feels neater that way. As we got number 22. I don't think we've got a 22 on our list, so maybe I read the number wrong. Anyway, Salisbury North are going for. We've certainly got a 12. That's Wagner. Intended for him. Hill got a hand on it. Tapped it to Wagner. Now with Anyang. Again, anything that's put up, you can really tell when it's put up now because it just hangs and hangs. Comes down vertical. Russo's long hand pass looking for Wagner, who's met high by Anyang. Play on. Cloughton has it. On to Pearce. Pearce's kick looking in the direction of Tuck. Got a teammate, got 2 defenders to beat, and the winner of all that is the boundary line. In front of the tennis courts here, part of the multi-sport complex at Broadview.
These clouds are really starting to gotten greyer.
Now I was checking the rain earlier, and there's no rain anywhere. But it's got cold, it's got cloudy.
What we get for loving a winter sport.
Who can trust the weather radar?
Along the outer wing there with just a little bit of soccer to keep it in play. Away with it. There's Hames amongst it all.
So how are we going working out? It's not quite time yet, but it will be at 3/4 time as we welcome. What's that? Singapore Airlines have come to visit. Okay.
Away with it. There's Hay.
Hay to Cloughton. Big man club. Clown just goes kerbang. Lots of Tigers in defence. Time for a bounce. Centering kicks the key one, and it was not what was needed. Again, anything that you give a bit of air to going into the breeze is going to hold up and fall short. Captain O'Brien, now whistle blew before O'Brien kicked that, so it should all come back.
Now, do you think it's too far for a shot at goal, or is he going to look for a man?
I'm looking at that flag, and that every time I think the breeze dies, I look at the flag, and it's still going strong.
A high one. Is it a shot at goal? No, it gets knocked to the post. Yeah. A minus score.
You sort of sandwich that one in terms of it being a bit higher than you would have liked. But you only kick it high with the breeze can carry it a bit more, but it didn't quite get the launch angle right. Another behind, which takes the lead to 13, could be important later. Back to the outer side. I don't think that's a mark to Haynes out there. It is. Starting to get a little on the dark side with the cloud cover. Last week, I don't know your game at Golden Grove, but last week at Rocks they put the lights on in the second half.
Golden Grove just got wet. It was rainy, and it got to a point where the centre square was just a mud pit.
Really?
So
okay.
It's nice to see dry conditions out here today,
it's dried
despite
out
the cloud cover.
Yeah. Rain forecast. Just not sure when and where at this point in time.
Fighting to get away, I believe Rossman's in there.
Yeah, they've done it well with some hand passes. Hill's been busy. If Broadview get up, he's going to be right amongst it.
Just saw Hay absolutely charging at that ball. I would hate to be on the other end of that. As we head into the fourth quarter here today, just want to thank our sponsors: Filming Footy, Sports Interactive, Classic Clashes, Custom by ORTC, High Five E-Bikes, Dartfish, Archie's, Jag Meatworks, Kimberley Resorts, and Programs to Fit. What an interesting quarter. I think both sides have really shown they're willing to put themselves behind the ball and put themselves at danger just to win this match.
It's interesting. A drawn quarter. Both sides kicked 2-4, and with a breeze, that's a win to the team kicking into it. It was Salisbury North by 19 at the first break, Salisbury North by 13 at the main break, and it's still Salisbury North by 13 heading into this last break. And that puts Broadview in touch. Very much so. Should be a thrilling final quarter coming up.
Absolutely. Thank you so much to Filming Footy. You're here with Taylor Oates, Phil Herden, and Sammy on camera. fantastic match between Broadview and Salisbury North here. And at the moment, the score sits at 33-4-9 to Broadview and 64-9-10 to our away team, Salisbury North. Back into the centre circle for another intense quarter here at Broadview.
Yep.
Groans as Carlin reaches out of the pack and steals the ball away to the 50, and that was just a netball toss. I'm not sure what game you're playing here.
That was lost the shoe in the process, I might add. Okay, Wagner's kick towards 50. So if you've just joined us, Salisbury North, because we've got the close one. I'll give you some scores in a sec, but Salisbury North had the breeze, kept Broadview goalless, led by 19 points at quarter time. Since then it's tightened up. 13 points at half time, 13 points now. One of the key movers, Hill, couldn't quite get the clean pickup, but he's still in the thick of it. Harble goes left, goes right, kicks into the middle without really looking. Carlin just bangs straight into his opponent and almost bounces off. And after all of that, it's a turnover. And will be with Jordan O'Brien and Luke Harble for Salisbury North.
Luke Harble sending it to a man on the outside wing. Along it goes. Constanzo is there at the 50, sending it towards their goal kicker Halibut. Just can't scoop it up in time for it to go over.
6-10-36. Salisbury North, 4-9-33. 6-10-46, 4-9-33, get 13 points. We've got the close one. A few games around the 3 goals mark. Wagner, the kick. Salisbury North, you think a couple of goals into the breeze would just about wrap it up, but if Broadview get the first, it's game on. Out to the, what I'm going to call the O'Leary ring, but Harble keeps it away from him. Jones, in strife, in real strife. Holding the ball. Broadview will take it out of their defensive area. Carlin has made really good space. Has time to have a fumble and still recover.
Got some large players on that defensive side of the team there, which really, I think, works well, especially against Salisbury North.
Little prop kick over the back. Fisher with the pickup. Everyone came to him, which freed up teammate, I think, in Pearce. Through some hands.
Kick into
this
no
was
one
Halibut.
there, but Ang Yang
will concede it. Did he need to concede? Well,
I think it was just better safe than sorry in that scenario. He was like, well, I'd rather not let anyone else get the hang of it, so I'll just knock it through. Possibly
wouldn't if it was a much closer game much later in the match. But, yeah, saves a bigger problem. Had there been a defender, a Salisbury North player could have laid the tackle. Broadview, here's a chance. Here's the run of Hill. Looking for Hames, who kept his feet. The ball sits. He's inside 50. Race for pace. Ball versus Broadview. Broadview in. I'll confirm the player in just a sec. Yeah, it's the 21st man, Josh Bryan. He has 2. He's the first multiple goal scorer for Broadview. Maybe next week they'll put him in Play HQ. Sorry. But that's huge.
That is huge, especially, as we said, like coming from a sample reserves to being able to play debut in a league match and score 2. Fantastic.
Yeah. Margin, 8 points. The Shadows are making their way across the Broadview Oval. We're back in sunshine.
I think it's just flying at this point.
Yep. Salisbury North would not want to blow 2 leads in a row. But it is Broadview. Hames has it from 30. Kick around the body. Bounce will be critical. Hay backed himself. The ball did go high, but he went high enough to corral it. And in the end, a stoppage.
To the left of the post, about 25 out, looking for a way to get away from the team as Brown, along the wing, sends it to a Wagner who's waiting. He's looking for an open buddy.
I'd be shocked if he came inboard. I think he's going to keep this down the line. Surely. Don't call me Shirley. Look at that hang up.
Out and up, and a sliding mark. Very impressive. With all that defensive pressure.
That's Brody Tuck.
On season permit from the Central District Reserves for this season. Fantastic addition to the Hawks.
Which means if they watch this and think, yeah, we should have you back, they can.
Wilson sending it straight into the arms of Broadview's, I believe, O'Leary there.
Yep. In front of the Kieran Hyoketsu scoreboard. Short kick to Langley. Sorry.
They're looking for a clean way of passage to get back towards their end along the wing.
And you know what that was? The side breeze, just taking it a little bit closer to the boundary line than Langley would have wanted.
Got to be really careful kicking along this wing here because, it's an absolute risk that the ball is just going to take it across and away.
Alrighty, Salisbury North. Looking for a win to stay in the 5. Golden Grove have got a huge... Oh, there's a... Yeah, that will be a Broadview free. We're going to assess some options. That was Kobe Wilson who got the free, got the kick. Reckon that might be, yep, that's Jamie Jones. Slowly just about worked out these Salisbury North new numbers. His kick though, straight to PJ Carlin, although there's a free, it's going to go the way of Russo. Players a little confused, having run away, then having to turn around and go back. Russo's kick towards that scoreboard. Tigers have numbers and the ball. The kick towards Rossman missed, well, he couldn't grab it, but picked up and kicked anyway. Attacking side for the Tigers, who trail by 8, have the breeze, have the ball, have a chance. They have a free O'Leary on this side. Attacking corner of the centre square, into 50 it goes. The good lead, the good leap. And it's our 21st man, Josh Bryan. He's going to launch a long kick to the line. It's a marker, it's a goal. Oh no, it's a free. I was about to say, it's either got to be marked inside or goaled over the line, but no, Hay earned the free. That could be a huge call. It's with Rosso in the back pocket.
Along the wing, he sends it to Deacon. A little short.
You notice that these things are starting at a very slow pace. I think players are trying to build up any rest points they can. Tuck, I think.
Sending it across the saucer into the hands of Brown, who's just come back on. Nice little tidy mark there. That's Cable showing his team how it's done.
All right. Now, have we worked out how many goals? Halibut has one, doesn't he? He does. Okay.
But not, I mean, this is not the Halibut we know who kicked 7 goals last game.
We do know that you can kick a goal from this spot. We have seen it happen today.
PJ Carlin has shown him how to do it, so can Halibut get it done?
Every kick now just feels of greater importance.
A little trot, looking to get it towards the posts. Oh, just behind.
That wasn't far off where I thought you'd aim it.
Had the technique and the right idea behind that kick, just needed to perfect it.
And I'm looking at my Broadview flag, and it's really not even. And this is where Salisbury North winning the toss might be of advantage too. This is a fly. Rossman with the mark. Downfield to.
I believe Hart Kelly, which is our Div 1 debut.
Yep. Oh, that's it. Thank you.
Touched the ball a bit, but hasn't.
Ames was taken off the contest. Earns the free. I reckon that breeze is more sideways now than favouring either end.
Honestly, I feel like I could just use Hames's hair instead of like a windsock and to tell where the wind's going.
Okay. So now Kobe Wilson. Too far out to score, you would think. Next kick critical. He's going to put it to the top of the square. Let the big man fly or stay at the back. Somehow a Hawk got a hand to that.
Ralph just.
And I reckon that's last disposal. It's going to be Broadview ball inside 50. It's going to be Captain O'Leary who has it. He's going to be kicking pretty much into the teeth of this breeze. Body language as he's showing all. There you go, we finally got our grass bit. I wonder what that told him when it blew back straight in his face.
Trotting along the outside line, just at the top of the goal square where it's knocked away and in for a minor score.
5-10 Broadview, that's 40. 6-12 Salisbury North, that's 48. If Broadview can find back-to-back goals, they will be in front. And they've done a fair chunk of attacking, and in theory have the breeze. And that's going to be a stoppage. Do quickly what's happening around the rest of the Division 1. Their game should be heading towards final. No finals yet. St. Peter's lead Rocks by a goal. Golden Grove by 51. Sacred Heart by 15. Port District by 14. So a few close ones around the league. And those games started earlier, so they're going to be really, really late in the contest. As thankfully there's another stoppage, and I wasn't giving scores out while someone was kicking a goal.
Very congested play around that 50, waiting for anyone to break free.
We'll find out a bit about fatigue as this one progresses. Salisbury North Harville, he's done that for years with the doggies. Now gets to the Costanzo, who has the energy to go with a couple of bounces and an accurate kick to Deacon. Deacon spots up a further player, and that's Hullabout, who's marked. He's sick and tired of taking shots from this side. He's going to try the other side.
Yeah, I feel like maybe he's put off a little bit. He had a few goes at goal from the left here where the wind is truly fighting him, so maybe he's got better luck from the right of the goal.
I'm not saying this would seal it, but a goal here would make it pretty difficult for Broadview.
Definitely give Broadview a challenge as he heads in towards the goal. A small trot. It's sent flying. It's a minor score just across the face there.
Well, whoever does lose this game will look at the Kieran Kyoketsu scoreboard, probably while enjoying one, and realise that, well, maybe accuracy hasn't been our friend today.
I have to say my favourite thing about listening to you commentate Salisbury's last match is learning what Kieran Kyoketsu is.
Yeah, well, I didn't know. That was Tommy Javor. All right, here come Broadview with that quick transitional movement. 1-on-1 contest. But Hayes been pretty much unbeaten all day. Hint, hint, nod, nod. In terms of what we've got to do at game's end.
Langley sending it back towards Hames, who collects the mark and it rolls off his foot in a groan across.
Yeah.
Everyone's groaning up after that kick. Back in the hands of Salisbury North.
Certainly generates a reaction.
Strong pressure brought on by Wilson there as they head towards their 50. A nice little snap mark by O'Brien, bringing it inside 50, looking for a player but doesn't end up quickly snapped by Hocking. Beard marks it at the top of the defensive 50, looking for a way to get it back towards his goal. Sends it into the air where not particularly a clean mark, but Wilson comes in to collect. Heading into the 50, and there is Hay to stop the play. Little bounce, and a short little kick that doesn't quite make the hands of teammate. I believe Pierce there, a high kick at the top of the goal square. Away and
Touch.
a minus score, which was just congested play all through that.
Yeah, Ralph managed to lose Hay for a moment and almost got the soccer goal. Actually, where is Hay gone? Oh, he's in the pocket with Hames. Okay. We're going to have a tight finish as the kick comes in for Wagner. That really needed to hit the target. Everyone's blood pressure goes up a notch, but Salisbury not good enough to find O'Brien in the pocket. All this sort of short kicking is taking some time away. Joey Brown, who got a vote from me last week.
Oh, it was just beautiful form there as I saw him just dash across to meet the ball as well.
Yep. Now Salisbury North, a bit of pace, bit of dash. For Jones, it bounces for him. He's got one to elude. From 51, a one-on-one contest, top of the square. The bounce is critical, keeping your feet even more so. Salisbury North did, Broadview didn't, and in the end it was a walk-in goal. I'll just get the play for you in a jiff. I'm going to give it to Tuck without a lot of confidence. Do apologise, folks. But, yeah, one of those. And if it is, that's his second. And is that all she wrote? The margin, 8 points, now 14. As we head to the latter stages of this game. We have a final. St. Peter's and Rocks. No late comeback this week from Rocks. St. Peter's 10-7-67. Rocks 8-8-56, an 11-point win. St. Peter's are 5-1.
Wilson Halibut sends it into 50, where waiting a Broadview Tigers, Anyang gives pressure to O'Brien, captain, who gives it to the pocket. Wagner's there. Has he done it?
No.
Minus score.
Every point will help, though. 14 becomes 15. And if for no other reason, then it keeps the ball at least down this end of the field, albeit in Broadview's hands. You notice they'll go straight up the middle looking for Langley. Thumb from behind. Again, kick straight up the middle. Fisher leads the race for the ball, which didn't want to be caught by Fisher. Gives Hames a chance. Kept his feet well. He's mowed down by Dion Lawler, who was giving away a fair bit of height and size. But it's not the size of the dog and the fight, it's the size of the fight and the dog, I think.
Got it right. That's
Don't always get that one right.
Brown there in the pocket. Pretty impressed that you got that, actually.
Yeah. Fourth quarter fatigue starting to set in, I think.
Absolutely. I think that's the case for both us and Salisbury North and Broadview today.
And mind you, if you're interested, more footy through Filming Footy tomorrow. AFL Masters. kind of different. Everybody wins. But anyway,
Cos Stanzo scooped that one up there and sending it into the 50, looking for Halibut, his the goal kicker. After today's game, I'm not sure he's top of the ladder anymore, the goal kicking ladder, but he was on 14 prior to this match with 15 with 1 here. And he's trotting further and back to centre. Looks like he wants to have a shot at goal, but it's going to be a bit of an effort.
This would be the backbreaker.
A steady stroll in. Light hands on the ball. Up. And between the posts. Beautiful. And that is his second today. Fantastic. Another multi-scorer in today's match.
Yeah. From a good range of opportunities, and now that to me is all she wrote now. The margin as large as it's been for a while, 21 points.
I think they can do 4 goals in 4 minutes?
Oh, look, those things are always possible, but in the range of potential. I mean, we're talking about a team that hasn't won a game, finding a way to win when winning just this year hasn't been part of it. Now, that said, Broadview fans, look, your team's, staying in games. They were certainly competitive against Rocks. They'll rue some missed opportunities when the game was tight. Next week, they head across the Torrens. Not too much of a trip, actually. And they will play Payneham Norwood Union. That will be a combined Norton 12. Someone's got to win. So, and then after that, they get Glenunga, who on current form are going to have 1 win. So the next 2 weeks for Broadview, I think, are going to be season defining. If they can win both, got a really good chance of avoiding relegation. If they don't win any, then they're going to hit the halfway mark, probably zipping 9. It's a long way back from that. Of course, between the posts, coming your way during the week, the weekend wrap tomorrow. You probably find Taylor all over social media with a range of interviews about footy.
Always. Brown there really working to keep it on his side, but ends up in the hands of Broadview.
Salisbury North, they're at home next week after a couple of weeks on the road. They will take on the all-conquering Spock, St. Peter's Old Collegians, who have, in our first final score, beaten Rocks today. Spock, a team that's been flirting with relegation the last couple of years, are now battling for a minor premiership. As we have a second final from Country Living Homes Reserve, aka Largs, and Port District are also 5-1, and Glenunga are 1-5. A 16-point win to Port District, 8-20, and they won. Okay, 68. Glenunga 7-10-52. So we've got 2 in the books, 3 to go in the BTO Excavations Division 1. Because we started late, albeit just 7 minutes, we'll probably be the last to finish.
Just quickly, on the day here, we've Broadview Football Club are supporting Ruby Tuesday Foundation, which helps and develops programs for children to access extracurriculars like footy, like sports. So I think it's all the opportunity to make sure that kids don't miss out on extracurriculars. So dig deep and donate to give all the kids a chance to shine today.
Yeah, best way to do that is to find the social media for either of the 2 clubs, and they will have a posting, and with that they'll have a QR code.
Hames passing it over to teammates, just waiting for the opportunity. Wilson, an opportunity to mark, was just taken down there by Jones. Oh, going to be a mark.
I should add,
Opportunity to kick.
from a Salisbury North perspective, we also want to mention Ian Anstey, who is such a legend on the club. His portrait is painted on their club, not a picture of him on the club wall. He's actually painted on the club wall along with the legends of the club. Ian was an A-grade coach, as I know Broadview are taking. I'll tell you a bit more about Ian after this shot.
trotting in a low ball, finds exactly home. Beautiful kick there. Caleb Jones, I believe his first A-grade goal.
Yep, his first, yes, for Broadview, absolutely. Initially from Paraka. He actually spent 2022, 2023 and 2024 in the reserves for Broadview. Did not get a league game. Modern day, not many players persevere that much. So a well-deserved goal. Just want to mention Ian Anstey passed away on the 17th of May. Club legend, A-grade coach from 71 to 79, A-grade captain from 71 to 78, best and fairest in 71. Player life member, and as I said, he's one of the legends painted on the Salisbury North club rooms. And Salisbury North wish to recognise that, and that's why you find, I'm pretty sure, they will do something in regards to that next week at their home game. And they're wearing black armbands this afternoon. And there you have it. Game done and dusted. Salisbury North get their 4th win of 2025. They battled all the way. Broadview are battlers, if nothing else. Salisbury North 8-14. That is 62. Broadview 6-11. That is 47. The final margin 15 points. It stayed within that band of probably 8 to 20 points through most of the game after quarter time. Taylor's going down to find the player of the game, which gives me a chance to prattle on aimlessly. But no, I'll give you the scores from around the grounds. So we have a final at Caterer Reserve. St. Peter's 10-7-67, Rostrevor 8-9, can't be 8-9, 8-8-56. Just want to... Golden Grove, well, I'm not sure if it's a final, but they are going to defeat Payneham. So Payneham will remain winless. Golden Grove will get their 3rd win of the season. So they're sort of on the edge of the 5, and they've got a percentage booster, 17-21-22. Payneham 5-11-41. Sacred Heart 12-12-84 are leading Prince Alfred 8-6-54. Prince Alfred had a pretty good lead early, and Sacred Heart reeled them in, then rode away 30 points. That game close to finishing. As mentioned, Country Living Homes Arena, Port District defeated Glenunga by 16 points. So we know if it's not final, at least who the winners are. And in the BTR Excavations Division 1, those winners today: St. Peter's, Old Collegians, Golden Grove, Sacred Heart, Old Collegians, which remain undefeated, Port District right behind them, and here, Salisbury North. Players are gathering in their huddles. Taylor's waiting to intercept one of those. In fact, what's happening is Taylor's delegated. This is lovely. Taylor's talked to TJ, Tommy Javor, former co-commentator, host of Between the Posts. That he still is host Between the Posts, and she's got TJ to do the work. Thank you, TJ.
Thank you so much.
Very shortly, we will go down to
just
Taylor.
Have a little chat.
We're ready to go. Let's go down to Taylor Oaks.
Tiny microphone, but it's worth it. Fabulous. So, welcome to here, Filming Footy. I'm here with Callum Hay, our best on ground for today's match against Broadview from the Salisbury North. Tell me a little bit about what it was like with that on-field pressure today against Broadview.
They're a good side. I mean, they had a close loss last week to Rostrevor, or the week before, and obviously Rostrevor beat us last week. So we knew they were going to be a competitive side, and played plenty of footy here over my time, and I know they're a hard team to beat at home. So we knew we had to play our top game, and we managed to get the points and get over the line. So.
That's absolutely fantastic. I think you're a great example of what it means to hang back and be that defensive side. What do you think is really important about holding back and being there when the ball comes back to your defensive side? How can you, I guess, express that?
I guess it's the players around you. You know, you got to read the footy, and I guess we did that with the midfield pressure. They put on the pressure, puts a bit more loop on the footy, and then I'm able to sweep up at the back and makes my job look easy. So.
Yeah, an amazing community that you've got at Salisbury. Tell me a little bit about, I guess, the support that you have in the defensive side, but then also being able to break away and be a little bit more attacking.
Salisbury North. Yeah, look, I mean, the coaching staff and my players kind of give me the freedom to run off if we need to, but we've got plenty of fast legs at the back. I'm getting old with age, so I tend to let them run off and I kind of just do what I have to do. But, yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for your time, Callum. Here's $50 to the Bartley Hotel and a pair of Archies, our sponsor. Thank you so much.
Give him the prize.
Thank you so much, Callum. All the best.
Thank you so much, Taylor. Sorry. Please don't walk away without giving the prize away. We also need a
Can you pass my phone?
a photo with the prize. Okay. Anyway, congratulations to Callum Hay. I think pretty much undisputed. His defensive performance was outstanding, keeping Broadview to just 6 goals today. So that's a wrap. Thanks to Sam, our cameraman. Thanks to Taylor Oates for hosting and for doing the post-game interviews. Thanks to John Douglas, Rowett, and the Filming Footy family. Check out the weekend wraps tomorrow afternoon between the posts during the week, and we'll be back with more outstanding action from the BTR Excavations Division 1 in the Adelaide Footy League. Until then, good afternoon from Broadview. Sorry, I just had this.